Okay, some of you are going to think this movie is a masterpiece. Most of you are probably going to think it's just middle of the road. And then there's going to be a few of you that thought this movie was just kind of silly. I'll get into what I thought about it, but I'm going to tell you right now, if this movie did anything for me, it just reassures me my thoughts on religious fanatics are fucking mental.
Yeah. 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 Whoa. Whoa, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. I just had to say that. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, so I'm not really going to go into more of my thoughts on what I think of just most religion and all that kind of stuff and how people just cram it down your throat and blah, blah, blah. But the reason I'm saying that is because Saint Maud, you know, as tropey as it may be, you know, that's what this movie's about. But what makes this movie stand above most is just the way it's presented. And goddamn, I did like this movie. I don't think it's a masterpiece, you know what I mean? Because it's not something that we haven't been told before. But it's just, you know, the way this movie is told is really well written and really well directed and really, really well acted. It is first-time director Rose Glass. She also wrote it. You did a fantastic job, for the most part. I didn't really care how you made men look, but hey, it's a female-driven movie, and I respect that because God knows there's enough male movies out there that depict women poorly. So, I mean, it is what it is, and that's fine. But that aside, this is a good movie, and right off the hop, I might get into a little spoilerish if I get rambling. I'm going to try and keep this one short, but I do recommend this movie, and if I am going to give it a rating, I would probably give it a 7. You know, like I said, it's a slow burn. Okay, let me very quickly get through the synopsis really quick. Follows a nurse who becomes dangerously obsessed with saving the soul of her dying patient. Well, that's what this is. I mean, obsession is the key point to this fucking movie. Maud, who is the nurse that comes to look after Amanda, Maud is played by Moyfred Clark, who is fucking fantastic in this movie, and Jennifer L. is her palliative care patient. Basically, she comes in the first act. You know, she's the nurse that looks after her. We're introduced to her. We kind of get to know both characters. We realize Maud is a very, very religious person. We don't really learn a ton of her backstory until the second act, but for the entirety of the first act, it's just these two kind of getting to know each other, how they accept each other. They become friends, which is what they should do, and then very slowly, Maud starts to win Amanda over with her religious views, and you know how she says, you know, she sometimes hears from God and speaks to God, and when he speaks back to her, she can feel him. Okay, and it does show a few scenes where it's almost like she has orgasms when she's hearing from God. And at one point, Amanda kind of gives the notion that she feels it too. Okay, so that going in, you know, into the second act is when we are introduced to Carol, who is Amanda's friend, who starts coming by, and they have sexual relations. You know, Amanda hasn't got long to live. We're talking like, you know, maybe a month here in this movie. So, you know, but Maud has gotten into or onto Amanda, whereas she is going to become this saint almost in her head, and she's going to help her pass and keep her on the straight and clear so that she can enter this realm of wherever you go when you pass on, you know, heaven, I guess, or a better place, or in God's presence. And then Carol comes in and starts to ruin that for Maud, because, you know, she just comes over to have sex with Amanda and fool around and party and, you know, try and give what she thinks is the final days of her life. You want to enjoy them. That's not what Maud wants. So anyways, I don't want to give too much of this movie away, but there is confrontation in the second act where Maud questions her faith. So she diverts back to where she came from, which is, we find out more of Maud's backstory, where she was more kind of a slut and a party girl and stuff like that. And then she converted into this super fucking religious type person. And now she's hell-bent on saving Amanda. So anyways, this movie is fantastic, okay? The second half of the second act on, okay, it kind of does a flip, and then we kind of learn and start to question whether, is Maud the only person seeing this? Okay, I have my opinion, and I'm going to say yes. Yes, she's the only one seeing this, because she has just gone to this religious place of insanity where, every time she questions her faith, she has to cause herself pain, or she has these breakdowns, and then there's scenes where she's seeing things and being lifted off the ground. But again, you have to question if she's the only one seeing this. And beyond that, I'm not going to say anymore. The ending of this movie, this is a slow burn, and it has, it all leads up to the final act of this movie, which I'll be honest, I knew something was coming, okay, but I didn't know how it was going to come. I had an idea in my head, and it totally was not what I was thinking. So I was, it just impressed me more with the slow burn and the anger you build up to see how this woman can, in my mind anyways, just be so fucking brainwashed into believing this stuff, and her mental breakdown to where she's believing it herself and seeing it's just, and then the end part, like it makes me wonder. And I've said this before in a few other videos. When I drive downtown in certain areas of the city and stuff, and you see these people who are speaking to themselves, and again, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, because I know mental illness is an issue, but I just, when you see people talking to themselves, like, I've never had that happen, okay? And yeah, doctors are going to say it's this and that and the other thing. And I'm not a doctor. I have no fucking idea. But, I mean, I sometimes question, I'm like, is there somebody there that these people are talking to? We don't fucking really know. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can pump them full of medication and all this sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, unless you've experienced it, you honestly don't fucking know, okay? I don't know. But that's the questions that I was thinking in my head, like, maybe this is all real, and maybe this is what you see when you give yourself to God fully. I don't know. I haven't, and I don't really believe in that stuff. So, I mean, that's what I'm getting at. It's smartly written. It's beautifully shot. Listen, the color palettes in this fucking movie are fantastic. The overall sense of gloom and dirtiness of this movie is done in a fantastic way, where it's not apparently obvious in the beginning, but it doesn't change at the end, but the atmosphere changes, and it makes it, then you realize that this is a gloomy type movie when the atmosphere changes, but the surroundings don't actually change. It was great, man. I wouldn't call it like a masterpiece, but it's right there. Do you know what I mean? And Rose Glass did a fantastic job. And this is her first time, and a lot of first time directors just want to fucking come out and like just smash you in the face and say, here's my fucking movie. I'm going to be unapologetic and unrelenting, and you're just going to fucking take it in, and then you have to deal with it. And that's what she does here. And I enjoyed it. I'm going to give this movie a really, really strong 7. I may even watch this movie again. There's a ton of movies that I like that I only give one-time viewings. But anyways, I'm going to stop there because I don't want to ramble on it and give too much away. But listen, if this movie is one thing, it's a slow burn. So you have to give it a fucking chance. Okay, you have to give it a chance. And I know you just sat here and watched my review. The less you know about this movie, the better, because you just want it to kind of unfold in front of you, and don't get told what other people think. Just experience it for yourself and then you can make your own decisions on what you think she's going through and what's actually reality and not. And yeah, I think you'll really enjoy this movie. So Saint Maud, give it a watch, guys. Totally impressed. The hype, for the most part, is real. Again, there's going to be some of you that may not like this movie, but I think generally, for the most part, most of you are going to enjoy this flick. And just give it a chance. It's a slow burn. And yeah, watch it to the end, guys. If you've seen this movie, let me know what your thoughts are on it. I am deadly curious as to what you guys think of this flick. I want to hear your opinion. And yeah, let me know. If you haven't seen it, I mean, absolutely go and watch this and then come back here and let me know what you think, guys. And yeah, until next time, stay scared.